the round of 8 is set, and also I apologize for the lighting. It's shit in here, but I couldn't film where I filmed yesterday because my dad's home, so. The round of 8 is set for the NASCAR playoffs heading to Martinsville, Texas, and ISM Raceway. Now, fair warning, there will be some possibly unpopular opinions in this video, but that's what I am at this point. So, advancing to the round of 8, you have Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Ryan Blaney. Now, that round of 8 is it's kind of weird and not really what I predicted at the beginning, which I didn't really do playoff predictions. For one, I wasn't really on Amino. Well, I was, but I wasn't really fully back by the time the playoffs started, and I honestly didn't really have like that many playoff predictions that were out of the ordinary, except for one. I had William Byron going into this race, winning Kansas, and advancing to the round of 8. Obviously, that didn't happen. Tear rolls down my cheek. You get the point. While I am a Chase Elliott fan, which some people on Amino might not agree with the fact that I'm calling myself a Chase Elliott fan, I love William Byron and Alex Bowman both. And honestly, I think as far as sheer talent and not really equipment backing them up or crew chiefs, I honestly think that William Byron and Alex Bowman are better drivers as far as driver talent. Crew chief talent, equipment level, all that kind of stuff varies, obviously, from team to team. I think we all know that, and if you don't, where have you been? So, I was a little mad and upset after the whole race because I really wanted William Byron to just shake up that playoff field. But it's 8:30. The field is set. The round of 8 is official. So there really isn't any way for tech has been passed cleanly by all the playoff drivers. So unfortunately for the William Byron fan club chat, nobody failed post-race, which I think we were all secretly hoping for. But, anyway, I'm going to give you guys my race review on Kansas. I did sit down and watch the entire thing from green flag to checkered flag. So, let me go ahead and give you guys my race review and kind of talk about this entire round of 8 and my playoff predictions going forward. So, first of all, Kansas was primarily a huge green flag run. There were stage cautions and 2 cautions at the end, plus like 1 or 2 other cautions. But they were for pretty mundane things. One was for Joey Gase spinning, and then I think that was the only caution besides stage cautions, and then obviously the last 2 that brought out overtime. So there weren't that many cautions, so it wasn't that exciting, but Kansas never really is. It's a safe cutoff race, and what I mean by that is it's not like Talladega or the Roval where it's like nobody can predict anything. It's like you can kind of predict who's going to do well and who's not going to do well. You can kind of predict that to a certain degree. So, with that being said, it was a very long stretch of green flag pit stops a lot of the time. You had some strategy playing out. I know Ryan Blaney, who I think finished like 3rd or 4th. His crew chief was like, it's literally just a science experiment for Homestead in Texas. So you got to give that 12 team some credit. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how Brad Keselowski did not make the round of 8. Now, if you would have told me way back before Kansas started that Brad Keselowski would not make the round of 8, I probably would have thought you were crazy. If you told me that at the start of the round of 8, or round of 12, sorry, I would have said, oh, you're crazy. Like, who beat him in? If you would have told me that Chase Elliott would have beat Brad Keselowski into the round of 8, I would have thought you were insane. I would have literally thought you were insane. It turns out you're not so insane. That's exactly what happened. So, you're kind of almost in a position of, what the hell? Because now you have Brad Keselowski, who's arguably good at the following tracks that we're going to, who's outside of the playoff chase, or the playoff picture. So you kind of have somebody who's good at the 3 tracks we're going to, that's probably gonna, if I was Brad Keselowski, I wouldn't think, 2 of my teammates are in, let me give them some outside help. I'm gonna be thinking, no, let me race for myself. Now, that is a very distinct difference than what I think Hendrick is going to do. Hendrick only has 1 driver in the round of 8. That's Chase Elliott. They have 3 drivers that are decent outside of that playoff picture now. What I'm thinking that Hendrick Motorsports is going to do is they're going to have William Byron, Alex Bowman, and Jimmy Johnson pretty much hand Chase Elliott points. I would not be surprised if, we get to a place like Texas or ISM and it's a stage finish, or even Martinsville for that matter, and it's a stage finish, and let's say William Byron's running 3rd in the stage, but Chase Elliott needs the points. I would not be surprised if the message comes down to William like, hey, Chase is in 4th, let him by. Or if Chase gets to you, let him by. Like, I would not be surprised in the slightest if there's a lot of Hendrick cars letting Chase Elliott by. That seems to be the, standard for Hendrick Motorsports at this point is, you know what, Chase Elliott's in the playoffs again. You 3 don't matter. You 3 don't matter. Honestly, I feel like William Byron could go win the last 4 races of the season. William Byron, Alex Bowman, or Jimmy Johnson, for that matter, could go win all 4 of the last 4 of the races of the season, and Hendrick would still find a way to only talk about Chase. And so would NASCAR, somehow. We all know it. We all know it. Even Chase Elliott fans know that would be the case. With that being said, though, I feel like Chase Elliott's in a kind of semi-good situation with having 3 teammates to provide outside help. It's not like JGR where you have 3 out of your 4 cars in the round of 8 with Eric Jones, who's not even on my radar at this point, who's kind of in a make or break scenario right now, having that outside help. So JGR is in a shithole at that point of having outside help. So is Penske. SHR isn't too bad. SHR only has 1 car. They're kind of like Hendrick, where they have 3 decent drivers. I mean, Suarez showed some talent here at Kansas today, which is different than what we normally see. So, I just think whatever happens, happens. But if I'm Chase Elliott or I'm Kevin Harvick right now, I'm just thinking, please let my teammates treat me nice. Also, if I'm Chase Elliott, I'm saying please don't let me choke at ISM like I have for the past 3 years? 2 years? How many years is this that he's going to choke at ISM? 2 or 3? Because 2017, he got tight, and I'm calling that a choke, even though it was a car issue. Because he had a semi-sufficient lead that was decent to where he should have been okay. Whether or not the car got tight, he had a lead over Matt Kenseth. If I'm Chase Elliott, I'm calling that a choke. 2018, the speeding penalty and then getting caught up in that wreck. Had he not sped, he probably would have won that race and could have been sitting pretty for the championship. I mean, he would have been a more legitimate champion than Joey Logano, so weigh that out as you will. If I'm Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Joey Logano, I'm honestly saying, try my very best. We all know that the 3 JGR cars are going to be there. So, you basically have 5 people fighting for 1 spot. Because I think we all know that no matter what we say, Kyle Busch hasn't won since, June or July. Denny Hamlin just won and Truex just won. I don't care what you say about Kyle Busch. I'm almost certain he's making it to the final four. Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. are there. So basically 5 guys fighting for one spot. All I'm saying is this round of 8 is going to be pretty sick. My predictions for the round of 8. Let's just go there for a minute. My predictions for the round of 8 are Denny Hamlin wins Martinsville and locks himself in. Then we go to Texas, and Texas was probably like the hardest one because Blaney and Harvick were good there last year around this time, but they also had the spoiler thing. Chase was good there in Xfinity Series 1 year, but not really in Cup. Kyle Busch is good there. Truex is decent. I mean, he's good at mile and a half, or was at some point. Logano, I'm just going to say, Logano, your only chance is wrecking somebody again. I'm just throwing it out there. So, Texas, I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm going to throw a wild card in there and say Blaney wins Texas. Saying Blaney wins Texas, Hamlin wins Martinsville, and Kyle Busch wins Phoenix. There's your 3 that get locked in on wins. 4th person joining them, Martin Truex Jr. There's your final 4 in my eyes. And that's not even, like, how I want it to go. That's genuinely how I think it's going to go. Because Blaney had some speed there last year at Texas, and if they use the same setup they ran at Kansas, they had good speed. Even on the longer runs, because that race went green for a long time. So, I think Blaney's set to go for Texas. So, final 4 in my eyes, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. Who wins the championship? It's too early to tell. Anyway, I'm gonna go. See you guys later. Bye, guys.